Welcome back to the channel, guys. Hope you're doing okay. Hope you've had a good week, and we are looking at the fourth week or month at war, and it's been a very interesting week in the matter of there hasn't been so much fighting going on. There's just been a lot of logistics going on. Now we are looking at the map here initially. So as we mentioned in the last third week at war video, Goons had announced obviously that we were moving everything, uplifting absolutely everything out of here because reasons. Now that means that includes unanchoring a lot of structures and trying to defend them while they're unanchoring so they don't get reinforced and get the unanchoring process stops. And there's a lot of work in that. I spoke to Asher. We did an interview with Asher, the leader of the Imperium, who went over more about him and the alliance, not so much the war itself. There were a few bits in there. There is quite a bit to cover, so I'll try and keep it short and sweet as I can. But if you are enjoying these war update videos, guys, a subscribe would be appreciated. Maybe even a majestic like or even a comment on what your thoughts are for the future going forward on this war, because we've been at the war a month now and we've kind of achieved what we needed to. But there's obviously, with every war, once you achieve your goals, you are then open to add more into there if if there's a bit more that you want to do or something went better or worse than you'd planned, you add things on, which essentially there's a lot been changed. So first of all, let's see if we can bring up the picture. First of all, I want to talk about a fight that went down. And a fight that went down in a low-sec system called Lantour, which is around here somewhere. I got a nice little screenshot of that. I was streaming it over on Twitch and YouTube. Both Twitch is linked down below. This was the full when it was fully escalated, when the Init had brought all the dreadnoughts in, and I think there was about 1,000 odd dreadnoughts on field at this point, and 3.2 trillion with a T ISK was killed during this fight. So it was actually really, really funny to see that a random low sec brawl, which started with a Fortizar, which is just up in the top left, started with a Fortizar hull timer and ended up in 3.2 trillion dying, which there was a whole thing about Norris wanting to go into the fight because they'd already formed for it. It wasn't their time zone, and he thought, you know what, let's go and have a brawl. We're going to lose. He even told his members that they're going to lose and make sure that they've got maximum insurance on the dreadnought because it was going to die. But you know what? Take my hat off. He still went into it anyway. There's a lot of different aspects to it. Like, I think they were supposed to be backed up by someone who suddenly changed sides last second. There's a lot of little things that went wrong or could have gone better. But all in all, 3.2 trillion killed. That's more than this entire month at war. Which, a low-sec dread brawl cost more than the war so far, which pretty interesting. But back to here. So what's a question I've been asking a lot of people is what's going to happen with Legion of Exdeath and Only Fleets and some of the other groups that are in here, because ideally we don't want them here. If we're going to be living here permanently, we do not want to have people that are neutral within our borders. So I think the offer was extended out to Vapor Alliance, who joined the Imperium. And I believe, if I remember seeing correctly, Legion of Exdeath, who lived in Deturrid, and Only Fleets, who live here. I don't know if Only Fleets have been offered it, but I know Legion of Exdeath have been offered temporary blue status while they move out. I believe the depots and whatnot. I don't know any the exact amounts or whatever because I'm not a diplo and I'm not in the diplo channels. But I believe there was a very, very generous monetary offer that was offered. Basically, paid them to move. We bought the structures, so I think we're buying structures off them, so they don't have to worry about losing money on those. We've given them temporary blue status so they can move to wherever. I have seen a couple lost mails of a jump freighter and a Rorqual from Legion of Exdeath over here. That is public knowledge, so I'm not going to get shot at for announcing that. But I did see that, so it's interesting that they're going from Delve to Querious. So that's going to be probably one of the leading groups in that area, depending on size and activity. But because there is also in Delve Synergy of Steel, who have Sov up in Pure Blind up here. They have taken some Sov in Delve, which is quite the move. It's like they're almost trying to get away from Fraternity for some reason. I don't know. Only Fleets, I don't know what's happening with them. Let me have a quick check, because I think they might be temporary blue as well, while they're moving all their stuff out and we're giving them safe passage. There they are. So yeah, here we are. They are good standing, which is light blue. So that means they are temporary blue. So we're not shooting them. We're allowing them to pack up and move. And I don't know how long we've given them, but again, I think we're probably going to buy all their structures in place. So there's no sort of, they don't have to worry about stuff getting reinforced or lost in on anchoring or anything like that. I think that's what's going to happen there. So we're buying all their structures and all their infrastructure that's already there, with very, very generous offers, which is nice to see that we're not just rolling them. There's actually been a bit of diplomatic work that's gone in the background there. So shout out to Goon Diplos that have managed to save these smaller alliances from having all their shit burnt down and giving them safe passage to move their stuff out and set up a new home in the whilst we can probably do our best to keep their stuff safe here while they're evacuating it all. But that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool thing that we haven't just decided, you know what, we're going to burn them down. We've decided to help them, pay them very, very well to and ask them if they could move politely. Still don't know what's going on down here, brothers. I don't know what's going on down here. We are not blue with them. We don't have access to any of their structures, so I really don't know what's going on there. What else was there? Oh yeah, so with the I just got a glimpse of it then. So some things to note. For some reason, Geminet is having stuff unanchored. So I'll show you now. So this was in Geminet in Atioth. One of their Ansiblexes was reinforced. One of Horde's Ansiblexes was reinforced by ourselves. We have Faction Fortizar, which is being reinforced by Horde. I don't know if that was us. I'm pretty sure that was us. Arcadios, I think that was. I might be wrong on that. But Faction Fortizar in Atioth has been next door to it was ITAC 6 has been reinforced. The Keepstar in that system is on anchoring. So it wasn't ITAC 6 at all. It was KTAC I think it was. No, I6 was the Ansiblex and the Faction Fortizar. Then KTAC I is a Pandemic Legion Keepstar. Not sure why they're on anchoring it. I really don't know about that one, but I think that one's probably going to get reinforced as well so we can get it killed. There is this one, this Fortizar as well. So this was sent to me in ITAC 6. So there's a Northern Coalition Fortizar has been reinforced because they were trying to unanchor it. And the Sov has been reinforced in cache. So this is right near us. That's been hit and, probably going to die. There is another Atioth. So that's Ansiblex that we reinforced by Black Ops Gang by the look of it. Alterari Phoenix, nice. And that was their jump bridge that was destroyed. Always cutting off the severing the legs of, or the ability to move around quick, which is always good. Always good objectives to do in a war. Right. So this is the Sov map for the start of the fourth week. So at the very, very beginning of the fourth week. So that would be last Monday. This is how the map looked. So as you can see, you've got Fraternity up there, Horde, Slice, Northern Coalition, Legion of X-Death, Only Fleets, Out of the Blue, which are now actually a member of the Imperium. They got offered, Imperium membership because they've been fielding quite good fleets actually for the size, quite impressive. Shadow Ultimatum are Imperium, slow. I think they've got temporary blue status because they're moving out. I don't know where they're going yet, but I think they're moving out. Brotherhood of Spaces, I don't know what's going on with them. Shall we have a quick look? Brotherhood of Spaces. They're temporary blue, so I think they're getting moved out. So essentially, we're consolidating this space here into ours. People that are living there currently, it looks like they're either moving out. Temporary blue means they're not joining the Imperium, but excellent standing is Imperium. Good standing is used for temporary status. So they're temporary blue. Not sure where they're going. Not sure what's happening with that. As soon as I find out and it's public knowledge, I will let you guys know. And this is the end of the end of the month at war, first month at war. So as we can see, there's a little bit of stuff going on over here in Provi and whatnot, which I don't really know about, but I will try and start getting around the map for any other sort of attacks that's going on. But as you can see down here, we've got Drake Lair have now taken Sov in the very top bit, just up by Iridia. So you've got sacked here, and then you come into one SMEB, and then there's some systems around there that they've taken. Brave Collective have got a few systems left uncontested, and the rest of them have, or now, as recording of this video, been taken over by the Initiative. Now there was a lot of how can I put this delicately? There was a lot of upset people on Reddit about the fact that Init were helping Goonswarm Federation in the evac of all the stuff. Init were helping Goons and Brave get their stuff out. The fact that there was no true reset, it was all just a ruse that we aren't reset or anything like that, which is not the case because we are still neutral to them. I think Initiative were helping Brave get out of that region, so there's no longer have to worry about it. And looking at Dotlan, if I can bring that picture up. So looking at Dotlan, as you can see, all the main parts here, so 1DQ all the way down here, from ZXB, which is the entrance to in its space, they've taken these constellations here. Might be a buffer zone just before you get to their space, or might be some extra space for crabbing. I know there's M2, a very famous system for that huge Titan brawl. And there's some really good space. I used to live in Waitako for a bit, and I tried S6 for a bit. They're actually pretty good systems. These ones are, and I think that's probably sure just to be a buffer from neutrals coming down towards their space. But I believe from what I spoke to with Asher, well, not I spoke to, sorry. I didn't ask him that on the interview because future plans. But on the fireside, he announced that Init have been offered a lot of the structures here that Brave had initially. So a lot of the structures have been sold to Init for a heavily discounted price if they were to just assist with getting Brave out the door. So we've got Drake Lair up here, we've got Zerg Reborn. Is it Zerg Reborn? Zerg Spawner, apologies. Luna, whoever they are. Luna Fleur, yeah, don't know them. Synergy of Steel down here. Dracarys space is being reinforced as well because everyone's moved out. So everyone has now left Delve. There is still a couple, I think there's still a Keepstar and E3O. There's still a couple little bits dotted around. I think a Sotoyo was killed. A friendly Sotoyo was killed by the bad guys. A couple Athenors was destroyed. A couple Fortizars were destroyed. A Tatara was destroyed. But there was in total about 500 structures to be pulled up. And I think Asher said on the fireside about 470 of them were scooped. And the rest was either scooped or destroyed by Horde, who are staged in NPC space here. But the Alliance, Goonswarm's Logistics Alliance, they said they've done 10 trillion ISK in collateral on courier contracts of stuff coming out of Delve and Querious over to UALX. So the collateral's been about 10 trillion ISK of stuff moved out. We won't know exactly how much value in ISK was moved out of Delve and Querious until we see the MER which was I think they were going. I think they went through period basis. They did go through period basis. So through the TCAG G Magic regional, that's where they went to, because then it was the long way round, but it was the safest option. So keep an eye out on the monthly economic report for TCAG and G Magic. So exports from period basis to Paragon Sol over the last week. Keep an eye out on that, because it'll be interesting to see just how much money was taken out of these regions through that gate. It's probably a lot of people seem to think Brave are a poor New Bro alliance. They're not actually poor. They are really, really not actually poor. They are pretty wealthy as I say small. They've got 7,000 people, but I estimate about 2,000 of those are probably inactive. So they are relatively small, speaking, about 5,000 members, which puts them in the league of. Actually, don't know. Without checking, I actually don't know. Probably Dracaris, sort of, or not Dracaris, Sigma, maybe. I don't know. But I think going back to the map now, and I think personally that Cash is probably going to get nuked next, just because structures are starting to die there. I don't know if the Sov's going to be taken. Ideally, it will be a nice, easy way to get into, because you can go into Cash, you can go through LJ all the way up the back to Outer Passage and straight across, go do a couple jumps, and you're in Cobalt Edge. You are literally like, what, 10 jumps? If you go from here, you're like literally 5 to 10 jumps right in the backfields of Horde's core systems. So that's quite a strategic region, to be honest, to take. Horde have also moved their main stager from MJ to E8 tack, which is around here somewhere. It hasn't got an answerblex in it yet. It's one of these little dead-end systems where they can reach every single regional. I mean, it makes sense. Let's just go find it. E8 tack. Where are you? Show on the map. Not that one. This one. So they've moved their stager from MJ, which is their capital. They have moved that to E8, which is a very interesting move. We move our capital forward, so they move their capital closer to us. But now their main super cap fleet and their main Black Ops and all Titan bridges can reach these regional gates here, which is important, because that's probably going to be one of the main ways that we go in. So they have done that to take somewhat secure their regional gates with, if we bring, I don't know, a few hundred battleships, they can drop dreads right on the regional gate and just mulch the battleships, and we can't project our capitals without going through the gate as well, which each one of these has a keep star on, so they can sit the supers and send fighters over and mulch and, you know, do that sort of thing. Which I'm actually looking forward to seeing where we're going with this now, because we are in a state of perma war. So we are going to be constantly harassing Horde, as far as I'm aware. As far as perma wars go, we are going to be constantly hitting Horde. We've done the consolidation into UALX and all that sort of stuff. So Brave, Sons of Bane, Lorne, Nvidia, Glory, IGC, Nvidia, or I don't know, IGC. All those guys there are now over here, and the goons are the meat shield for the Imperium. While these guys sit back here, have a little bit of a rest from being bombarded, and where they can grow and recruit and make money, and, you know, the only thing that they've got to concern themselves now, which is what we had to concern ourselves with, is being staged by Horde to, I don't know, hit the back lines here, because where goons are up here. It won't take us long to get back, to be honest. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if Horde were to stage somewhere like here and start hitting Esoterian Paragon Soul. It wouldn't surprise me. But I think there's already plans in the works for that. Because if I've thought of it, I know full well our directors team would have thought of that as well. And closing. So I do have another Alliance Leader FC coming out this week. Interview coming out this week. I also have one lined up for the week after, and I've also got another one lined up for the week after. So I'm going after I'm going after the big alliance leaders or coalition leaders as well. And then also I'm going to start doing some main FCs that are well known for, you know, just being good, or, you know, whelping, or, you know, any of those things. Just to get in, and it's not just going to be from the Imperium. I'm trying to get hold of FCs from Horde, Fraternity, some Init guys. I don't know why I went around Delve. I suppose they are in Delve as well. But Init guys here and some other smaller ones. I want to get interviews with everyone. I want to get everyone's perspective, and then get them, you know, all categorized into a folder so everyone can go back and have a look and, you know, see what each alliance leader's about, see what the FCs are about, so you can get an idea of what each group, kind of what their community is like. So Horde 100% have a different play style and ethic to Goons, and we have a completely different ethic to Fraternity, who has a different ethic to Initiative. So if you're in high sec or wherever, and you want to try and find the best null sec block or group that suits how you play, you can essentially have a watch of those videos and make your own decision based on what the alliance leaders and the FCs say. I don't think there's a huge amount much to cover. There was that big fight in Lantour. There was which we went over. There was the evac. The main thing this week that went on this week was the evac of Delve and Querious, which has gone ahead, which has happened. It's all done. It's all fantastic dozy. I think I might have a couple of things in asset safety. I think it's going to be. I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to be, what's going to happen with Delve, because I would not. I can tell you now, in it taking a lot of this off was not on my trump card. I can tell you now, I did not have any. I didn't think they were going to, if I'm honest. But looking at it, kind of makes sense, because it gives that little bit of buffer before they get into Fountain, so they can see people coming. So it kind of makes sense in my opinion. But I hope in it don't use that to just stomp everyone and anyone that, like, small groups that come and set up or try and live in Delve and whatnot. I hope they don't just, you know, curb stomp anyone that comes into there, and they just sort of take. So I'm hoping in it take like a little, not a backseat role, but they kind of just like, okay, we're going to leave you all alone. If you leave our structures alone, we'll just leave you be. We might roam, but we're not going to come destroy your structures. I hope that's what the case is. But I don't know. We will see. Now, we do have, as I said, we do have another Alliance Leaders interview coming out this week. So if you are new and you want to see that, guys, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate it. We've done extremely well. From the first started doing these videos, where it was 96% people that were watching were unsubscribed, it's down to like 75 now. So we've absolutely obliterated that metric. So I do really appreciate it. I really do appreciate that so much, guys. I can't thank you enough. And all for those people that say that this is all just goon propaganda, you can think that if you want, but if it was, I don't think I'd be getting other alliance leaders on, which I do actually enjoy talking to them. I've spoken to quite a lot of them already, and arranged, you know, I've had a brief chat with them just so they know that, you know, it's not there to corner them or with awkward questions or anything like that. It is genuinely just so everyone can see what that alliance is about, what the leader's about, what you can expect if you join them, sort of thing. But guys, I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover. I've just had a look at everything, and that is pretty much everything I wanted to go over, guys. I think I've covered everything. So late this week, we've got the Alliance Leader video coming out. I am going to be streaming on YouTube and Twitch tomorrow night, Tuesday, and potentially Thursday as well. We'll see. We'll see how work goes. But you could expect that video towards the end of the week as well, guys. Videos will always be going live before for members first, and then a couple hours later, a few hours later, everyone else will be able to watch them. So you've got to give some form of perk to members. Also, members will be getting shouted out from later this week. They'll be getting shouted out at the end of every video. So thank you for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Got loads more coming, so I'm just glad that everyone's been enjoying the videos. And actually, it's great to see a lot of people subbing back up and joining the alliances that they're in. So like, people have commented saying, you know, I've come back and I'm joining back up with Horde, I'm joining back up with NC, I'm joining back up with Fraternity. It's actually good to see people coming back, which, because we all love this game. It's all a great game. And we all love it to bits. Otherwise, we wouldn't spend so many hours playing it, would we? But yeah, take care, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.